How's it going? I'm Andrew Barr with Raising the Bar Studios. And today I want to show you guys how to make that Daft Punk style vocal. And the song you're going to be listening to today is called Meaningless by a band called intwo. I'll make sure the links are down in the description so you can go check that out right now. But without further ado, let's jump into the DAW and take a listen. So.
Whether you believe it to be true, I can never find it in my heart to hate you. Carry a letter.
All right, so let's take a listen to these vocals by themselves.
And whether you believe it to be true, I can never find it in my heart to hate you.
So it's pretty simple. So I think I use a thing called VocalSynth2 by Isotope. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I will show you how to use that real quick. So we have our vocal here, our original.
And whether you believe it to be true, I can never find it in.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're literally just going to copy it into a new track, this whole section. And then we're going to open up VocalSynth2 onto that audio track, okay? Now, it's not going to play any audio yet. That's fine. You're not going to be able to hear anything. What we're going to use is a MIDI keyboard, or I like to write it in, and we'll choose the notes that we want the vocoder to sing along with. So we have vocoder selected here. You want to make sure that these are off. There's lots, super cool. You can use it for a bunch of stuff, but for today, we're just going to use the vocoder. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to select MIDI mode. And I use this default settings with a width at 62. And then I have a little bit of a chorus and delay on there. That's all. So now we want to open up a new track, and it's just a MIDI track here. And we're going to call this vocoder. So we have the original vocal, and then we have just a MIDI section here. So in here, I have these chords, and the best way to figure this out and what chords they are is to select a different track here and play it with a piano so we can hear the notes. So we will have the vocal in there.
And whether you believe it to be true, I can never find it in my heart to hate you.
That sounds about right. So now we can take this and we can select this from presence, and we can select this over to VocalSynth2. And now it'll sound like this.
And whether you believe it to be true, I can never find it in my heart to hate you.
Definitely the hardest part of this is getting the routing. You have to have an instrument track for your MIDI, and then you have to assign it here to this track. So this is where VocalSynth2 is at. And then we select here in VocalSynth2. Most DAWs are like this. So you have to have an instrument track to trigger the notes for VocalSynth. And then VocalSynth will actually sit on your track. And then you can blend it in with your original vocal.
And whether you believe it to be true,
So I want to show a couple other things too, where I did a little bit of processing. So we have VocalSynth2 here.
Can never find it in my heart to hate you. Whether you believe it to be.
That's what it sounds like by itself, or even here's really by itself. So it sounds good, but it needs to have a little bit of that sparkle to it. All right, so I took 15K and boosted it by 6 decibels here. And I took 3,000 hertz and I also boosted it by 4. And then there was that wonkiness at 300 and I took it out by 2. And that's pretty much all I'm doing here for EQ. And then I also have just like an opto compressor, and I'm hitting it at a somewhat slow-ish. Well, optos are kind of slow anyway, but a somewhat slowish compression rate. And I will toggle this plugin on and off and show you guys what that's doing. So with it off, now I'm going to turn it on. Really kind of adds that nice sparkle and it just adds a lot. So we could leave it there, and I did for this song. But if you really want to get into that weird Daft Punk style, you can start adding more notes to these. So let's switch this back over to Presence, which is our piano, and let's start playing around with some notes. So I can get super complicated. I'm adding just a bunch of notes. But I'm hearing something here where... So now, let's bring it back in here. And let's just see what it sounds like now. And let's blend it in with the original vocal.
Whether you believe it to be true, I can never find it in my heart to hate you.
All right, so that's about it. There are tons and tons and tons of plugins that you can use to do this. I just personally like VocalSynth2 from iZotope. It's what I've been using for a while. But if you would like to know how to get 1,000 streams in less than 1 month, go download my free PDF guide. Link will be in the description below. And it gets you there without spending a single penny on ads. So take a look, download it, follow the steps, and it will build your audience and get you that 1,000 streams that you want without even paying for a single dime in ads. So thank you for watching my video.